As promised, back with another video on the same day even. So the same outfit and everything is because I recorded on the same day. But let's start it with my HHA, the 5 van de Magische Zwaard or the 5 of the Magical Sword book collection. It's not that much either because, as I said in my DVD collection video, the 5 wasn't as much as a success as Het Huis Anubis was. And even though it's the same and not, you guys know that by now. And if you don't, you can always ask me in the comments and I will tell you the history behind all of it. But yeah, it wasn't much of a success. So there were many books, and I think I found all my books because my room's been a mess lately due to lack of space. Yeah, I have too many stuff for all the clothes. But yeah, I'm going to show you and I hope you guys like it. So this is it. 6 books. 3 books, the story. 1 special book like Das Geheimnis van die Anubisbewoner en Het Geheim van Anubisbewoners. A poster book and a searching book or the search book. I don't know how you guys call it. But let's get right into it. Season 1, Season 2. So kind of like House of Anubis. But basically this tells the story of the first 50 episodes of Season 1. And it's my least favorite book of the 3 of them. Basically because I watched the 5 fully last year. And I watched it as a kid, starting from this book. And I've seen the full season, but I didn't remember shit of it when I rewatched it. Because I was like 12. But this one, I didn't see it on TV back then. And when rewatching it, I already knew that there were druids and so on. And I don't discover that until the last page. And it annoyed me so much. It's not a bad book, but if you know what's going to happen, it's a bit boring because the main character, which is Stella, doesn't know anything about it. Pim knows everything about it in the beginning of the season, or he thinks he does, with the toads and everything. But he knows more, and even Marcel knows more. They don't know shit, Anastasia and Raphael. But Stella doesn't know anything, and she is approached by this ghost called Emily, but she doesn't want to listen, and it's mostly about that. And that makes it kind of a struggle to read through. It took me a while to finish it. It's also written more childlike than the original Het Huis Anubis books. And it's not bad, but it's not great either. And it's not a bad book, but it's not my favorite. Then the second book covers the complete second half of the first season, and that's DVD box 2 and 3. And it's called The Dark Ritual. Also, that one is called The Legend of 5, but this one is called The Dark Ritual, and this is such a good book and my favorite because Sarah gets involved with Pim and the story, and it really gets going, and it's also a lot thicker, and I just enjoyed it so much. Not to spoil anything, it has some kind of happy ending, not completely happy, but it's so good. It delves into the mystery. There's more Anastasia, more Marcel, and more Raphael too, and I adore it. And then the last book, the battle for the sword, you can say. It's really thin, and that's because season 2 was only like 60 episodes, season 1 was something in the 100, and it's not a bad book. It's an amazing book compared to the first one, but yet again the same problem as the first one. It follows Stara, but Stara doesn't know what's going on half of the time. Or she is not in the main picture. Anastasia knows more about it, and it's a big reveal in the book, and they did that really well. But it was also kind of dull because except like in half of the book when Stara needs to learn how to use her power, she doesn't do much. So yet again, we didn't see much of the complete story. And season 2 is my favorite season of the 5. It's so good. It's so amazing. I watched it in like 4 days. And yeah, that's pretty sad, but it's not a bad book. And I love the color. Then next is Het Huis Anubis, the ultimate dream catcher. Discover the ultimate dream of each resident. So this book is a lot like the Book of Mysteries, with the secrets of the Anubis residents from Het Huis Anubis and Das Huis Anubis. But this time it's with them, and it's actually, they are locked into the house by their evil residents, and he puts them to sleep and makes them dream about their biggest wishes. And it's an amazing book. It's really big, which I didn't expect. It's a lot of stories. You learn a bit like in every child's book, and it just, yeah, interesting. And it has a long story about each character and then something typical of them that teaches you. And yeah, it's really, really good. Also, which I loved, was in Anastasia's story, is about royalty. And they show you the difference between Belgium and the Netherlands, which is very interesting because as a Belgian, I don't know much about the Netherlands. And I think it's vice versa. So yeah. And then here you learn a bit more about music, and it's really stereotypical, but it's a really fun book. So, next is something I bought on a trip to Plopsaland Panne, the amusement park where the Anubis house that they filmed the Vijf and Das Huis Anubis in is, well, situated. I went there with my boyfriend, and this later at big sales prices, because it had to go, because it's old. And it's a poster book, and that poster right over there is from this book. So it's the back of this one, and it's basically all small posters like a House of News book, and then some more information about him. And I really enjoyed it, and also postcards. I didn't pay much for it, so yeah. It's not like I lost a fortune because it wasn't sales prices. But I found it fun to find something from Anubis in Plopsaland Panne, because the show got him a lot of money and it's slowly being forgotten, even though their Anubis ride, their attraction, is still very big and everybody wants to join it. So I was really happy to find that poster book. And last is the Secret Formula, which is a seeking book. And I got it for free from the same person I got the Ultimate Dreamcatcher book from. And it's basically, you have to look for everything, and what isn't there you can take to the next picture and so on. And then in the end you know what's wrong. And I never really did it because it's a bit too young for me. I am nearly 21 years old, so yeah. And it's a nice book to have. But yeah, I'm not really doing anything with it. I'm also just showing you the pages because I don't know what you're gonna find in the end, because I never did use it. So yeah, it's pretty. You've seen every room there is, and then here you can see the elixir and so on, and you have the solutions and all, but never really did it. And that's basically the Vijf book collection. The Het Huis Anubis collection of the Club of the Old Willow is following soon. It's a lot more books, because with cleaning everything to find these, I found at least 10 books of the Het Huis Anubis show. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!